What's the
Basically,
difference
Pro Tour.
between an elite series and a silver series?
I mean, personally, and I'm sure I'm not the only
From
one.
from a fan's perspective,
I care way more about an elite series event.
Okay.
I mean, even when the field's stacked at a silver series, it doesn't feel that important to me.
Interesting.
Do you feel the same, Silas? Like, do you feel like whoever wins Beaver State will have the same amount of like fanfare as Simon just winning Portland?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You
Yeah.
do think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so Silas is the opposite of me.
No, I think it's the exact same thing. I mean, to me, it seems like it's been hyped up equal.
Well, because like when someone wins a silver series, like to me, I immediately am like, yeah, but they haven't won on the Pro Tour. Like if Brody were to win this weekend, for instance, yeah,
I think a lot of it is field. I think a lot of it is field.
I don't agree with that.
I think it's field strength and I think it's course based. I think those are the two factors that come into play. You have like the Tallahassee Open, for example, not a really popular course. I think it's actually might have been brand new. And you had probably the weakest. I think the Tallahassee Open was probably by far the weakest field in any of the tournaments we've played this year. So you have like a silver series like that, but like everyone's at this tournament.
But when you look back on the year, you're not going to know that. You're just going to see it's a silver series.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as majors versus elite series, right?
That's what, like a major immediately feels like. European Open, for instance, probably won't have as strong of a field as some of the Pro Tour events. But whoever wins the European Open will have won a bigger tournament and will have immediately a better season in my head. If someone has just the European Open win and someone has just the Pro Tour win, the European Open win means more, even if the field's worse.
Long term, I definitely see that for sure. But I'm saying short term wise, I think a lot of it, as far as like getting fans interested in watching and that kind of thing, getting fans interested in coming out to the event, I think that's 100%.
Well, coming out, like if they're both near me,
who's playing?
If they're both near me, yeah, I'm not going to care. But I'm saying as like a fan on the East Coast with an event going on the West Coast, so there's no chance I'm going to an event. Like if we had player A and player B, they both had one win. Player A won a Pro Tour that had a weak field.
I don't think that's what we're arguing, though. I'm not arguing that. I'm talking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying which win means more. I immediately the Beaver State means way less.
I know, but that's not what I'm arguing. My argument is like, what are fans paying attention to during the event?
I think Silver Series, people pay less attention to Silver Series. There's less talk about it.
No, I agree. They probably are definitely lower. I think not having live coverage or having any of that definitely hurts. I don't even know if Jomez is going to be out doing post-production here. I don't think they are, actually.
Oh,
so
wow.
all that, I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But if they aren't, then obviously all that goes into play. But I think a lot of these events are especially are going to get to the point of, because even down the road, there's no reason why the Pro Tour, if they have the funds and they have the means, of why they just wouldn't do live at Silver Series as well. Like I don't see a reason 5 years from now that they're like, no, it's a Silver Series, we're not doing live there.
Well, I feel like 5 years from now, Silver Series will just be the way that you earn your way onto the Pro Tour.
It could be. I mean, there's always going to be like a tier system of like upper echelon tournaments and lower echelon tournaments. Like if there is a tournament right after, like here's a good example. Let me pull this up real quick.
Well, because like if you're able to do live, you're able to get a full field, you're able to get sponsorship money. Why isn't it just a Pro Tour event? Why keep it as a Silver Series?
So regardless of whether this is a Silver Series event or not, I think there's an event right after Pro Worlds. They're currently registered right now out of the top, and I'm just not going off of world rankings. I'm just going off of Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Points. 2 of the top 8 people are registered. And then you've got everyone from 9 through 16 except for one person registered. And then sporadically, 78%, 80% of 17 through 30s registered. But if you look at just like the top guys, only 2 of the top 8 are going to that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have, when you have like a big tournament, like a major, something like that, or you have a stretch of big tournament, big tournament, big tournament, and then you have like a, whatever, even if it's not even it could be to point too where I think people are, and we're starting to see it, right? We're seeing it with Chris Dickerson. We're seeing it with, I'm trying to think, Calvin, I think too, is selective on some tournaments as well. I think we're going to see that more and more as the tour continues to grow, of where players aren't going to have to feel like they have to play every event, especially when you start getting to the point of where players, and this is going to be a big change in tour if it ever gets this point, of where players aren't touring in their vehicles.
Yeah.
When people are making enough money to where they can fly in to tournaments, I think you're going to start seeing a lot less, or you're going to start seeing players be a lot more picky at what events they're playing, because right now we just play Portland Open, right? So if you're in your van, are you going to just start driving to the preserve that's in 3 weeks?
Yeah, why
right?
would
Or
you?
3 weeks after the Portland Open, right? Are you going to do that, or are you going to stick around in Portland for another week to play Beaver State Fling, right? So I think that changes though when people are flying. When you start flying into events and stuff, I think we're going to see that. So it'll be interesting to see. I think you're going to have some Elite Series events be bigger, right? And then you're going to have some Elite Series events not be as big as the others. And also, there has to be some sort of like, I think for the tour to continue to grow too, and like build names and get people out there, I think you're going to have some sort of, it might not be the Silver Series, but you're going to have some sort of like lower tournaments, not worth as much points, not as big of a payout, whatever it may be. Heck, they might even do it, because right now it's kind of weird, right? Where like the Disc Golf Pro Tour kind of has its hand in everything. Think about it this way. Think about if the Disc Golf Pro Tour has nothing to do, because it's weird, because the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the Disc Golf Network are so like coincided, right?
Yeah.
They're very similar. So imagine if, let's just throw ESPN in there. Imagine if ESPN was like, hey, we are now taking over and we're doing coverage. So the Disc Golf Network doesn't really, let's just say they don't even exist anymore, right? The Disc Golf Pro Tour has no hand in USDGC, right? They have no, at that point, there's no connection. So why wouldn't the Disc Golf Pro Tour have like a little mini event during USDGC? Now, obviously, having a mini event during a major, probably not the greatest idea, but this happens on the PGA Tour a lot of times where they have other events, other tours, other like WGC, there's other things going on. And like the top 50 players in the world will go and play this one event. And the PGA Tour is like, well, we're not just going to sit around and not do anything. Like, we will still run an event. It won't have a super strong field, but it will get some newer names out there, newer faces out there.